Welcome to this week's video. I'm coming to you from Cunard's Queen Victoria cruise liner. I've been on board for the last 14 days and I thought I would share with you some hints, some tips, some observations that I've made whilst on board, just in case you would like to travel on Queen Victoria too. So, my name is Marianne and I am part-time boater. On entering the cabin, there are a few things that I noticed. One is in the wardrobe. Hanging up are a pair of dressing gowns and slippers. For your information, the slippers are complimentary, so do feel free to use them throughout your voyage. And the bathrobes are there for your use, but you have to leave them when you depart the ship. If you want to buy a dressing gown, that's also possible. The toweling ones are $55 and the waffle weave ones are $79. So that is something to consider when you board. Another little tip is when you see your bottle of champagne in your cabin, it is for your use. It is a complimentary free bottle of champagne, half bottle. So do feel free to use it, to drink it and enjoy it. It took us a couple of days to realise that that's what it was. I had to ask our cabin steward whether or not we can drink it. There is also alcohol and sparkling and still bottled water, and these are chargeable with a 15% surcharge on top, so do be careful about that. There is a fridge on board which is filled with varying other alcoholic and sparkling beverages. These also come with a surcharge of 15%, so do check that. If you want it, have it, but be aware there is a charge. We asked our cabin steward to remove all the things from the fridge so we could put in our bottle of wine and our half bottle of champagne that we brought with us on board. You are allowed to do this for consumption within your cabin. So that is something that you could enjoy when you come onto Cunard ships. We also noticed that was the case on P&O Arvia when we were there back in April. So it may be something that you can do on all cruise liners. I just hadn't heard about it until April on Arvia, and now Cunard's Queen Victoria. When you go to hang up your clothes, there are a lot of hangers. Now, the bit that is on the rail is fixed, but each one of these fixed hangers holds 3 wooden hangers with metal supports on it, I suppose. And some of them come with skirt and trouser clips, and some are just plain. There are enough of them, well, there were enough of them for myself, so I don't think you need to worry about that really when you come on board. When it comes to choosing your cabin, deck 1 is the first deck that the passengers can use. Deck A and below, if there are any, are for crew members. So when choosing your deck, if you wish to book your cabin, then make sure you're aware of how many decks there are on the cruise ship and book your cabin accordingly if you wish to choose what deck you are going to be on. It does make a difference on rocky days, on sea days, because the higher up you are, the more you feel the motion. The lower you are, the less. If you are midships, then that's probably the most stable point of the ship. And that's, if you're in any way a poor traveller, then that's probably the best place to be. In our cabin, the bedside tables have lamps on them and they are fixed to the top of the cabinet. So there's not that much uninterrupted tabletop space next to the bed. There's also no phone chargers next to the bed. You have to do that at the desk. on Cunard, they have a designated time and space for you to go and do your crafting. I met some very lovely ladies on board, and we spent an hour on every sea day meeting up and doing crafting. I only took my sketchbook with me, but they actually brought their knitting and their crochet and bead weaving. So that was all very interesting to see. We had a good chat, and we then found that we would meet each other walking around the ship, and it was a lovely way to get to know a few other passengers. The other hobby that they had was an art class. Now this was led by a lady who is a children's book illustrator, and you could pay $35 to get the equipment that you needed in order to follow her art class. She took you through various stages of painting, watercolor painting, and you had all the equipment for this money that you would give her, plus the tuition. You only paid the amount once, and every sea day she would be available to run the class. So to all intents and purposes, you paid for the equipment and the tuition was free or included. If you brought your own watercolor equipment, you could then, I think, participate in the class for free. But I think also it's something you need to check when you are making your booking or when you come on board. Do take the class from the beginning, because every sea day there is an art class, and it will take you progressively through from the beginning through to a certain level. They teach bridge from the beginning, so you can indulge in bridge classes. And there are varying sporting activities such as shuffleboard, table tennis, darts, bingo. That's not quite a sport, but it's one of the activities. And you can get a card which you get stamps for all the things you participate in. They also do a scavenger hunt with pictures, so you go around the ship and find the images that are on the sheets. It's a good way of familiarising yourself with the ship. So it's very well worthwhile doing that. And for every one you complete, you get a stamp in the book. The more stamps you get, incidentally, the more likely it is that you might win and get a prize. I don't know what the prize is, because we gave up after a little while. We just wanted to do the scavenger hunt, and then we realised you could actually compete in various activities and win a prize at the end. The bingo, however, had jackpot prizes, and a friend of mine won $400 on one game, and let's see, what was the other one? $300 on another game. So it is possible. There is another activity on board which is very popular, and that is ballroom dancing. The teachers on board again take you through the basics, and then they progress you through various dances, and there is a lot of opportunity to practice those dances and to enjoy them. I noticed that there were quite a few people here with dance shoes on, and they had obviously done dancing before. So Cunard is one of the few ships where ballroom dancing is a standard activity. So do come and enjoy that. Following on from the dancing, there is also Zumba and line dancing, and there are chair aerobics available to take as an activity. There's a fully equipped gym and spa on board for your relaxation. If you get any vouchers delivered to your cabin, do check the total price at the spa or the photographic studio to make sure that it's still affordable. The vouchers say $40 off, but you need to know what the starting price is and make sure that it is the price that you want to pay. On Cunard, there is something called iris photography, where they photograph your iris and they turn it into a work of art for you to put up on your wall. It's something that my daughter was interested in doing, but we didn't actually do it. But be aware that it's here, and it might be something that appeals to you. They also operate personal photo shoots, so you can get a photographer to take you around the ship and photograph you in varying places suitable for your taste. On dance nights, gala nights, the photographers are at various points in the ship, such as in front of the clock and stairways, and you can get your picture taken. One thing to be aware of is that if you go to the black backdrop and you are given a card with an appointment time on it, these photographs are of a higher quality, printed on better quality paper, and they come at a higher cost. So make sure that if you have a picture taken in a particular outfit or a gala night in that location, then also get it done in one of the other locations so you have a choice. So if you don't want to pay the premium price, you still have your outfit photographed at the standard price. There is a beautiful theatre on board Queen Victoria. They run shows every night. There is music going on all around the ship, and some of the musical artists perform in the theatre. They also have their own dance crew and singers, and they put on shows on various nights throughout your cruise. The standard of singing and performing is excellent, so it is something to enjoy. They have comedians on board too, so there is something for everybody in the theatre. Shows take place at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock, and they are usually a repeat one of the other. The dining that is available on board is amazing. There is something for everybody: hot food, cold food, salads. But one of the best things that I found is that if you have an allergy to varying foods or ingredients, they will cater for you. A couple of the people that we met on board are gluten intolerant, and they were given the menu to look at the night before, and whatever you choose off the normal menu, they will make it for you gluten-free. So there is quite a wide range of foods for you available in the main restaurant. In the Lido buffet, there is a section purely for people who are gluten intolerant. There are jellies and cereals and breads and milks. So I think that if you have allergies, you will be catered for on board Cunard Queen Victoria. There are certain places which are inclusive. The two that I've mentioned, the buffet and the Lido Grill, are included. There is also the Golden Lion pub, where the food is included, the chart room, and the Britannia restaurant. One of the things that is pertinent, as far as I'm aware, purely to Cunard Cruise Lines, is that all room service is included, and there is an extensive menu for varying parts of the day and night, and breakfast service has to be ordered the night before by 1 o'clock in the morning. But should you wish to eat in your cabin, the opportunity is there, and the food is delicious. There is a desk dedicated for excursions. You can book your excursions on board, but we found that we were able to just go on the shuttle bus into the towns or walk into the towns and make our own arrangements for the activities that we want to do. Hence, we took the cable car ride up into the hills in Funchal. We did a walking tour in Lisbon. We found that all the ports that we visited, we were able to just use the shuttle bus or walk to the activities that we wanted to take part in. You have a choice. Just do your research before you come on board or when you're on board, and take your pick. Cunard has a dress code whereby from 6 o'clock onwards you have to wear smart attire to enter the bars and the restaurants, but in the Lido buffet area and Lido Grill outside by the pool, you can still wear your shorts and t-shirts. But in the bars and restaurants, smart attire is required, and on gala nights it's more formal, so you would wear your evening wear. Suits, ties, shirts with collars, and for the ladies, evening dresses or cocktail wear. Having said that, you can be as fancy or as casual within reason as you would like. One of the best things about Cunard is the library. It's got a very extensive book collection. They have a system of scanning your cabin card and stamping your book. So you can take books out and keep them out as long as you need, and then return them and swap them out. I don't know how many books you're allowed to take out at once, but my daughter, who was travelling with me, found an illustrated set of Harry Potter books on board, and she steadily worked her way through from number 1 through to number 4. She hasn't quite finished it, but I'm hoping she will do it before we disembark tomorrow. There is a number 5, but she will have to get that from our local library. Whatever interest you've got, though, there are books available for you. Travel books, true crime novels. It's a proper library, very comfortable. They even have a suite of laptops should you buy the internet package, or if you are unable to access the My Voyage app on your phone, you can access it on the computers up here. It's a very comfortable space to spend your time. They have daily crossword and Sudoku puzzles available, very comfortable armchairs such as the one I am sitting in right now, and yeah, it's a lovely space. My daughter spent a lot of time here reading the Harry Potter books. Well, I think that covers all my hints, tips and observations for my Cunard Queen Victoria cruise. So I hope you found this video interesting and informative. If you decide to book a cruise, please think of these tips, and maybe some of them will be useful to you. I'd like to say thank you to all my subscribers, and thank you for watching. And if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. It would be lovely to read your comments and to interact with you via this channel. So until next week and next week's video,